Hi students, this is A. Mandri Kumar Rajesh. In today's video, I am going to teach you non-Mendelian inheritance called cytoplasmic inheritance. What does it mean? In general, the inheritance of most of the characters of an individual is controlled by nuclear gene. But in some cases of inheritance is controlled by cytoplasmic gene or cytoplasmic factor. So, when the transmission of a character from parents to their young one is controlled by a cytoplasmic gene or a cytoplasmic factor is called as cytoplasmic inheritance or extra chromosomal inheritance or extranuclear inheritance or non-Mendelian inheritance or organal inheritance. So, and the transmission of a character from parents to their young one is controlled by a cytoplasmic gene is called cytoplasmic inheritance or extra chromosomal inheritance or extra nuclear inheritance or non-Mendelian inheritance or organal inheritance. So this inheritance has many names. Now I am going to explain these names. First, I am going to explain the organal inheritance. So, in this inheritance, two cell organelles going to play a major role. That cell organelles are called chloroplast and mitochondria. That is why it is called organal inheritance. Then the next is non-Mendelian inheritance. Because this inheritance do not abide any rules and regulation of Mendelian inheritance. That is why it is called non-Mendelian inheritance. Then the third one, extranuclear inheritance. Apart from the nucleus or chromosome, some material is going to transmit the character from parents to their young one. So that is why it is called extranuclear or extra chromosomal. Then that inheritance was done by cytoplasm. That is why it is called cytoplasmic inheritance. Then the cytoplasmic inheritance was first reported by the scientist Correns in 1909, and it was reported in the plant Mirabilis jalpa. It is otherwise called 4 o'clock plant. Then the cytoplasmic inheritance is of two types. They are chloroplast inheritance and mitochondrial inheritance. Chloroplast inheritance and mitochondrial inheritance. The chloroplast inheritance is applicable only for plants because in plants only we can found plastids. So it is not applicable for animals. But in the case of mitochondrial inheritance is common for both animals and plants. Then the genes which controls the cytoplasmic inheritance are called as plasma genes or extranuclear genes or cytoplasmic genes or cytogenes. So the genes which controls the cytoplasmic inheritance are called as cytogenes or plasma genes or cytoplasmic genes are extra nuclear genes. So what is called plasma genes? Where do they present? What is called plasma genes and where do they present? So plasma genes are nothing but a self-replicating hereditary material which are present in cytoplasmic cell. So plasma genes are self-replicating hereditary material which are present in cytoplasm of the cell. Then the genes which are made of DNA which is found in chloroplast is called as cpDNA. cpDNA. The genes which are made of DNA found in chloroplast is called as cpDNA, and it is made of mitochondria. It is called empty DNA. It is called empty DNA. Now I am going to list out the difference between nuclear gene and cytoplasmic gene, because it makes you to understand the concept very easy. Here I have written the difference between cytoplasmic DNA and nuclear DNA. I have written some of the differences, not all the differences. I have written some of the important difference between cytoplasmic DNA and nuclear DNA. The first difference: the cytoplasmic DNA is found in chloroplast and mitochondria, while in the case of nuclear DNA, they are found in chromosomes. Then the second difference: usually the cytoplasmic DNA are circular in nature. Usually the cytoplasmic DNA are circular in nature except in ciliate protozoa where it is linear. While in the case of nuclear DNA, they are linear in eukaryotes, circular in prokaryotes. Then the third point: synthesis of chloroplast DNA and mitochondrial DNA continues throughout the life cycle. So this process continues throughout their life cycle. Then in the case of nuclear DNA, synthesis of nuclear DNA occurs only during interphase, especially in S phase of the cell cycle. Then the fourth point is cytoplasmic DNA replicates both chloroplast and mitochondria in semi-conservative method. The fourth point is the cytoplasmic DNA replicates both in chloroplast and mitochondria in semi-conservative method, while in the case of nuclear DNA replicates in the chromosomes in the semi-conservative method. Nuclear DNA replicates in chromosome in the semi-conservative method. So these are some of the important difference between cytoplasmic DNA and nuclear DNA. These points make you to understand the concept easy. Then let me explain the cytoplasmic inheritance in Mirabilis jalpa or 4 o'clock plant. 4 o'clock plants, we could able to observe two types of leaves. They are dark green leaf, then pale green leaf. Now we are going to make cross between these two type of leaf plants. So first I am going to make a cross between dark green leaf plant with pale green leaf plant. So in the first cross, this plant is going to be act as female. Here this plant is going to be act as male. So results in the fusion of gametes and it develops the F1 generation. In F1 generation, we could observe all the young ones showing the phenotype dark green leaf plants, dark green leaf plants. Then in the second experiment, this plant is going to act as male and this plant is going to act as female. So results in the development of F1 generation, and it shows all the individuals are with pale green leaf, pale green leaf. So in each cross, F1 generation shows the character of the plant which is used as female, So from this result, we can come to a conclusion: the inheritance is not due to nuclear gene. It is due to chloroplast gene, which is found in the ovum of female plant, which contributes cytoplasm during fertilization. Since the male gamete contributes only nucleus, not cytoplasm, that is why it is called cytoplasmic inheritance. I am going to give additional information about how different types of or different colors of leaf formed in Mirabilis jalpa. Who is responsible for the different colors of leaves in Mirabilis jalpa? The answer is proplastids. So proplastids are a colorless small structure which controls the inheritance of chloroplast. Proplastids are a small colorless structure which controls the inheritance of chloroplast. If the proplastids are normal, it could able to produce dark green leaf plant. If the proplastids are normal, it could able to produce dark green leaf plant. While in the case of abnormal, that is, it is a mutant, if the proplastids are mutant, it is able to produce pale green leaf plant, while in the case of variegated leaf, both normal and mutant form of proplastids are present, results in the variegated leaves. So that's all about today's video. I hope you all enjoy this video and I give maximum information regarding this inheritance. I think that information will useful for you. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.